During the winter, I don't like indoors nearly as much as outdoors. During winter, probably 150 to 200 arrows a day, 6 days a week. And then for outdoors, I was up to like 250 to 300, 6 days a week. And then if I have like a shoot coming up, then it would go up to like, I think I had a couple days of 500, a couple weeks before nationals last.
You're listening to the Letdown Podcast.
It's like buck fever.
One shot at a time.
That's a big part. 4, 3, 2, 1.
There you go. So, Cam, the way this came together is actually kind of funny. Just so you know, like someone slid into my Instagram DMs and said, I need to have you on because outside of Perkins, we should talk to Cam Palichuk. Palichuk. My apologies. And I'll be honest, I didn't know much about you till I rated your Facebook and your Instagram. So found out a lot about you on that and on the Archery Canada website, some of your accomplishments. And, if anybody, we're not going to talk too much about that, but you are, in my humble opinion, you are quite an accomplished archer at the age of 23. So tonight, we're just going to introduce you to our at least our community and go from there. Welcome, Cam.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let us tell us a little bit about yourself. What you do, where you live, how old you are.
I'm 23. I live in Edmonton, Alberta. Been shooting for 10 years now, I think, around 10 years.
So where did you grow up?
I haven't moved. I've been in Edmonton my whole life. So.
Really? Okay. And what kind of kid were you? Would you say when you were younger? Were you outdoors kind of kid?
Yeah, my grandparents had an acreage. They had like a 40-acre acreage, and I was out there like all the time, shooting like squirrels and stuff. And get a bow till I was probably like 10. Remember trying to shoot squirrels out of the trees and stuff. That's kind of where it started.
So do you remember that first bow?
Yeah, it was like worse than a NAS bow, like the Genesis. Like it was literally just like two little circles on with strings. It was, you'd shoot an arrow, not hard. Probably a good thing. It probably would hurt something or somebody.
And you kind of had probably a shoelace for a string at that time.
Yeah, it was like, I swear it was like just a cable. Like it wasn't even a string.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than my first bow, I'll tell you that. I had a fucking stick and a string.
Yeah, well, my first bow was not too far off of what Cam had. And it was actually a legit bow at the time. Back in the day, that's what those whole compound bows were something else. Little wheels and steel cables and goodness gracious. I don't know how we hit anything with those things. So
not easily, at least.
So when did so you're 10 years old, going back. When did you start getting serious about archery?
Probably like 7 years ago ish. I was at my club did junior classes, and they decided like go outdoors one day in the spring, and there was a shoot at the same time. So they had kind of like given us the option to either do the juniors class or you could go and shoot in it was like a 720 round. And so I shot the 720 round, and ever since then I kind of fell in love with it, and that was when I really started wanting to shoot target, and when I got into it.
And when you say shooting target, you shoot indoor, outdoor, 3D, all of it?
For the most part, I shot just target. I like the 720 style more, and then indoor because there's nothing else to do in the winter. And then it was only like, it was just after COVID, so like 3 or 4 years ago, that one of my buddies, Amy Brehart from Lethbridge, said that I should start shooting 3D, and then came to a couple ASAs, and then now I shoot that as well.
Yeah, right on. So was there a tournament or anything that kind of changed things for you?
Not really. It was mostly just local stuff that I shot, and then I shot provincials that same year, and I think I got third in that. And that really motivated me to shoot more. So I don't know. I was young too. Like it's hard to remember back then. So
how old were you when you shot your first provincials?
Probably like 13, 14. I was young.
Jeez. What's your best position at provincials?
I've won them the last several years.
Says it so casually.
Yeah.
Was it like a close win, or did you blow it out of the water?
Back in the day, they were close. I had a lot of people that were like had time and were competitive with me, and then kind of just before COVID, everybody kind of just started dropping off and stopped shooting as much. And that's kind of when I started shooting more. So I pulled ahead of everybody. And then after COVID, like once I came back, then it wasn't. We got a lot of good shooters here, but it's not like it's super super competitive.
Is that so provincials, was that 3D or field?
I shot field, I think field in the 720 round.
Nice.
That
What'd you
first
score?
one.
Do you
Well,
remember?
I have no idea. That was so long ago, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of
I
like
can't
I
remember
remember
that
my
much.
scores whenever I plays. Although I've only played a handful of times, so it ain't that many scores to remember.
That's fair.
I can remember all my scores when I placed because there's none. So there you go. So when was the moment you actually realized you actually might be good at this sport?
I was told to go to Pan Am's, and I've been shooting lots to go to Pan Am's, Junior Masters Pan Am's. But that was before COVID, and then I think like I made the team, and then COVID happened, and the trip got canceled. But that was kind of like the moment that I was like, oh, I can actually go somewhere with it.
Yeah, for those of us that don't know what Pan Ams are, what was that? Was that like a world archery event?
It's a world archery event, but it's like just the Americas. So all of South America, Mexico, US, Canada, and then it's like it's a world event, but it's just specified to a region. It's the
Is that
same thing as like a European Cup or something.
is that 50-meter 720 or
Yeah, 50-meter
Okay.
720, and then you shoot matches after.
how'd you do there?
First time I went to it was Santiago, and that was, I believe, oh no, the first one was in Halifax. I don't remember what I got. It was like 17th or something. That was Junior Masters Pan Am. That one wasn't super great. That was my first time shooting in like super heavy wind. It was like 90k gusts, I think it got up to. I don't think that was while we were shooting, but people were missing bales and stuff. Like it was brutal.
Really? Now here's
What's
a
the,
question for you.
Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, go ahead, Misha. No, I was just going to ask about, because just to loop it in with, so we've had some people from Archery Ontario, Archery Canada on here. So does Archery Canada help you with that financially, or Archery Alberta? Do you get any help for that to get to go to those games?
Archery Alberta's been really good. They give me, I can't remember what it is. They give me money to go to them. They give me, yeah, not for like nationals. They used to have a program that if you like placed in it, then you'd get money, but they're redoing it. So, and then Archery Canada used to, and then they stopped that, but I think they're bringing it back again. I'm kind of out of the loop for that.
So for the most part, you're footing the bill yourself to get to South America, for example.
Yeah,
Santiago.
I think like the last one I did was Medellin, and that one they paid half of it. I think I want to
Is that
say
right?
half. So
That still helps out a lot.
100%.
yeah, a lot better than nothing.
I mean, what does Archery Ontario do? Nothing.
They do. When I talked to Dylan, they paid for some of his flight. I think he got reimbursed. He got reimbursed when he got back. So you have to submit some sort of forms, etc., to get reimbursed. So, but
We need to take some notes from Alberta.
yeah. So Cam, what do you think? What separates a good shooter from a great one, archery wise?
I would say intention and drive would be the biggest one. Like it's one thing if you just go out and shoot arrows for a day. It's another if you go out and you're trying to shoot good shots all the time and like trying to figure out what you're doing wrong and then actually practicing enough to see that make a difference.
Okay. So what does a typical practice session look like for you?
During the winter, I don't like indoors nearly as much as outdoors. During winter, probably 150 to 200 arrows a day, 6 days a week. And then for outdoors, I was up to like 250 to 300, 6 days a week. And then if I have like a shoot coming up, then it would go up to like, I think I had a couple days of 500, a couple weeks before nationals last year.
So did you say 500 arrows a day?
Yeah.
Shit. Dude, my shoulder's hurting thinking about that. Wow.
Once you start shooting that much, it gets easier, right? So
Yeah, I suppose.
I suppose.
I suppose, yeah.
When
Um, so I mean, shoot that many shots a day. What poundage do you is your bow set at then?
My feed bow, the maximum we can shoot is 60. So it's set at like 59, 58 and a half, somewhere in there. And then my 3D bow, it's 60-pound limbs, but the cables are a bit tighter on it right now. So I think it's drawing like 62.
Gotcha. So I guess it is a little bit more comfortable to shoot under 60 pounds than all day. Yeah.
So
I don't know if I
what
could
do you
do 80 pounds for 500 shots.
80? No,
Yeah, that'd
definitely
be a
not.
lot.
I don't think I could pull back 80 pounds at this point. So weak. I need Justin's triceps. That's what I need. So inside joke. Sorry, guys. So what do you think most archers have misunderstand about getting better, Cameron?
I think a lot of people will like go and shoot, and then they're not trying to figure out what they're doing wrong and how to fix it. So like every time that I'd make a bad shot, like I shoot a 9, say, for indoors, like a Vegas 10. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I did in that shot that made it go there. Was it like bad hand pressure? Was it a pull? Like, did I fall through differently? And I just don't see a lot of people doing that. Like, it's just they shoot just for fun, and then that's there's no intention behind it to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Around
so,
here,
yeah, but-
there's a lot of people shooting to have fun, but you can always tell when the guys that are knowing what they're doing and knowing how to practice and how to fix what their mess ups are. Then like you can tell who's doing it. Like, there's a small group.
I also think there's a point too. There is when how do I say this? Like just focusing on what you're doing wrong a little, like too much. I think sometimes like that happens to be one of my problems. Is I focus more on what I'm doing wrong, and right now I'm trying to work with. I'm trying to convince my wife to coach me, but which is not going well. But so I'm a hard person to coach, I guess. But I think that there's a point too where you have to focus on some of the things you're doing right as well, right? Like when you say analyzing your shot, I think I'm not sure if you put that into your practice too when when you're what you're doing right. Do you keep a diary or anything, or a notebook on your practices?
Yeah, I have a shooting journal that I keep. I
Okay.
don't do it as much as I should. It definitely helps, especially if like you're struggling with something. Like if you're constantly have an inconsistent low left, you can go back in your journal and read, okay, last time I had a low left, it was my release was twisted a little too much. And then that's just an easy thing to look at.
So when you're holding on a shot that matters, what's going through your mind?
Nothing. My brain's completely blank. So probably not usual, but
Seems so simple though. Like don't think about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's overthinking everything.
yeah, you kind of gotta just let your body do its thing. If you practice enough, it knows what to do.
That's
Yeah,
actually
if you shoot
solid
500
advice.
shots a
So
day,
the
you
other
should
thing-
know what you're doing.
Solid advice, Justin.
That is solid advice.
What are you thinking about, Justin?
Nothing
What are
right
you thinking
now.
about right
No.
now, actually?
There's a lot of times that I shot that I probably was thinking way too much for 3D, and then I'm
It's
like, oh
it's
shit.
it's like when I have a beginner come in, I say, as soon as you think of what you got to take, you got to bring milk home to the wife. Halfway through your shot, you might as well just put the bow down because you're gonna miss for sure. You're not gonna hit. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Cameron's a pretty serious fisherman. So what kind of fishing do you love the most, Cameron? Or do you do the most anyways in
walleye and
Alberta there? Sturgeon.
Say
Wow.
Walleye and lake
sturgeon?
Yeah,
Oh, that's wild. I've actually never seen a sturgeon in person.
they're sweet. I caught
I've
a couple
seen
good
one.
ones this year. I think the biggest was like 60, 64, 63 and a half or something inches.
That's wild, man.
Wow.
It's like 5'3", I believe.
Yeah.
5'4".
Yeah, that is 5'3".
Wild.
Wow. How was that like to bring in?
They're fun. I like them. A lot of times
Yeah.
too, like if you get them at the right time, they'll jump. It's cool seeing them jump, and then they go on a big run, and you're trying to catch up with them. So
Yeah. It's,
I'm yet to have to chase one downriver yet though. So
Okay.
maybe this year.
And it's all catch and release where you're fishing, right?
Yeah, especially sturgeon. I think it's like $100,000 fine if you get caught keeping one. So
Jeepers.
yeah, don't do that.
No.
Yeah, no.
They're an interesting looking fish too, right? Because they got the mouth kind of on the bottom of their almost like a not exactly a carp, but kind of the mouth is on the bottom of their body, right? They
Yeah.
got yeah. I've only seen one. I was really young. My neighbor had gotten one, and yeah, and he actually kept it. He had it in his backyard, so it was. I think he ate it. So that's I guess that was back in the day. Because I'm a little bit
Yeah.
older than you guys. And
Different
what's your
times, too.
favorite place to fish there? Yeah, different limits, different times.
In the North Saskatchewan River, definitely. I love the river. I'd rather fish there than anywhere else in Alberta.
Yeah, what's about the river that you love the most? Like, what is it about the river?
There's patterns. Once you figure out the patterns, then you catch them a lot. Like it's different to show up to a lake because they kind of just go anywhere. I haven't spent a lot of time on them, but like the rivers, they kind of hang out in spots, and then different times of year they're in different spots. So you got to figure out when they're where and how to fish them. So I quite enjoy that.
Yeah. So, how much time do you spend fishing versus archery?
Depends on time of year. Like in the spring, when all the fish are running to go and spawn, I won't shoot for like 2 weeks. I'll just go fish. So if I can't go fishing for the day, I only got like an hour free time, then I'll shoot. It's not really. I'd rather go fishing during that because that's a limited time window, right? You can shoot kind of any time. You can't catch a ton of walleye in one day, any time of the year.
Yeah. So, I have a bit of a proposition for you because I don't know if you guys are allowed in Alberta, but here in Ontario, there's a season for carp, and we do. Justin and I both got into bow fishing, and so you combine your two favorite passions. It is a blast, dude. Let me tell you. If you're ever in Ontario, come by the club and we'll take you. It's a hell of
I'd be down.
it's a lot of fun, man. It's a blast. You're only allowed carp and I think suckers, but I'd have to check the regs. But we only have carp in our pond, so yeah, it's a blast.
I'd be down.
Did you get that fat one last year?
Pardon?
He got a couple fat ones.
So did you get that fat carp last year?
A few of them.
Yeah, and they stink too.
No, there was one where it was like easily like
I
probably
didn't get that one. No,
20 pounds.
no, I didn't get that one. The biggest one I got was probably around 5 or 6 pounds, but that was the one Justin and I you couldn't even see him in the water. You could just kind of see his shadow, and he was coming at me, and
Yeah, he's really good.
I popped him behind the head. Yeah, it was awesome, and it's such a cool thing because the arrow. So your arrow hits the water, and then the fish, they roll like an alligator, and your arrow is just going boom, boom, and they just start to roll in your line, and you're trying to pull them in. And Justin and I are like 12-year-old kids are like jumping up and down. Trying to get these stupid things.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Justin has the first one I got on film. He got on film with his Meta glasses.
Well, yeah,
and you can just hear us yelling. I think the whole club could hear us yelling. So excited.
all of Guelph could hear us yelling. So,
Do you still have that video?
yeah, I do.
Can you send it to me? I want to see that.
I will. Yeah, I'll send it to you
That's
after.
too bad we couldn't play it on here. It'd be funny. It was fun.
Yeah,
So,
it was.
sorry, go ahead, Justin.
No, all you.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So is fishing your way to shut off from archery competition, or just another hobby?
Kind of both. Like it's winter right now, so I can't go open water fishing, and I'm missing it. I'd more so say it's just relaxing, right? Like you kind of something to take your mind off of everything and just chill. There's not anything else going on. Simple.
Mhm. Yeah, I love fishing. For me, it's a day on the lake is better than a day in the office. That's for sure. Those bumper stickers don't lie. That's for sure. So
Did you do any ice fishing, Cam?
I used to do a lot more. I don't enjoy it as much. It's cold, and I don't got a truck, so it's hard to drive on the ice. But like in the fall, I do it a fair bit more, and then at the end of the year, once everything starts melting, then I do it. But in the middle of winter, it's kind of hard to get around, so I don't do it as much.
are you using a fly or are you using rod and lures?
Rod and lures. I've fly fished. I don't enjoy it as much.
Okay. So do you see any similarities between fishing and archery?
Not that I've looked into. Pattern recognition, I guess, would
That's
be the
fair.
biggest one.
Alrighty. So I heard a bit of a story. Let's go lighten things up a bit here. Just talking about from the archery shooting line here. I heard a story that last year you were you made it to the finals. You had shot almost a perfect round at nationals last year. Was that correct?
For what? Sorry,
3D
the 3D.
nationals.
Yeah,
Lackland Beach.
yeah. I shot 19 up. Yeah.
Yes. So
that was you.
and I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about that. I was like, someone said, yeah, some like 20-year-old kid almost shot a perfect round. I go, fucking bullshit. Didn't believe him.
Yeah, that was me.
Wow.
I missed the one by like just a touch too.
Oh,
Went
wow.
to an arrow call.
Fuck, I would have given it to you at that point.
No, it was like the second target or something. It was early.
Oh, does that sting more for it to be the second, or do you think it would sting more if it was one of the last?
Well, definitely, if it was the last, it'd sting way more. Because then it'd probably be mental. This was just the shot didn't break where I wanted it to, and probably didn't have a great idea of where the rings actually were on the target. It was a raptor at like, I think it was like 47 yards or something. Like it was out there.
So
That's
it's the
nuts.
worst. It's the worst target. I hate the raptor. It doesn't because
It's
it's
not
not
bad
a real.
if you have good aim.
Nah, it's fair. Yeah, and if you can see the rings, it's like not a. I guess because you got the stripes right that kind of outline the 10, so it makes it
Yeah.
a little bit gives you something to shoot at. But it's always for me. It's always the elevation and where to hit it that I use. I think I usually shoot that one low, so low inside the 10 usually. Just joking, never inside the 10. So yeah, I heard that when you were you shot an almost perfect round. You get to the line at nationals here. You got the first position, and apparently, take us from there. What happened?
My rangefinder died, and I had like the annoying part too is I had checked it before we went on shot, and it still showed full batteries. But apparently on the Leopolds, like the battery level doesn't decrease; it just dies. So yeah, that's the first time that's happened. But now I replace it every month or so that doesn't happen again. Yeah, it died. Kind of panicked. I didn't really know what to do. And then one of my buddies behind me yelled, "It's 49 yards." So I just set my sight to 49 yards. And by the time I drew back, I had like 3 seconds left. And I saw my pin just like kind of in the middle of the animal and I shot it. And it caught a 10. But apparently when I shot it, I had like a second left. So a little bit close.
Kind of did a little bit of a drive by there then.
No, I usually settle on target. So it was just kind of there. It's just ready to go.
Now, do you remember your worst choke in competition?
I've shot a couple of really bad matches for Worlds, but that was in the wind. I don't think it was really a choke. It was just kind of not great shooting. I don't know. Lack of experience would be a better term for it. I don't know. Not any memorable ones, at least.
He's just that good. He doesn't choke.
I was gonna say, jeez. Yeah. And what's your best tournament moment? The one that stands out.
I think
the
it was
most?
nationals this year. That one felt really good. I won 3D field and target, so that felt good. That was a
So
good
do you
confidence boost.
So do you shoot K50?
Known 50, yeah, for 3D.
50,
Yeah.
Thank God.
I'm not good at judging.
Just saying, man. It's enough competition in the bow hunter already. I don't need more.
I don't know. Like if this was a job interview, I think I'd hire you, Cam, for sure. Holy mackerel! No
Appreciate it.
bad moments. Be my
Not any
definitely
memorable
Archer of the
ones.
Year,
I kind of
sure.
pushed that out of my memory.
That's actually good. That's actually a good thing. So we're going back
That's
to
what you
that
need,
when
Chris.
we yeah, I definitely need that for sure. So going back to that, like Misha was talking about that or it was your second shot, you missed the 10 at nationals last year. How do you move on from a shot like that?
Just kind of you can't change that shot, so I'm not going to worry about I'm not going to make that shot determine the rest of my shots. I'm just going to go to the next target. It's a new shot, reset. Especially target, like once you start doing 720s, you really learn to do that, because if you have a bad shot and you let that control the rest of your shots, then you're going to go rapidly downhill.
Sounds like my shooting right there. Pretty much in a nutshell. That's me. First 10 targets, all 10s and 11s. As soon as I get that 1-8, that's it. Forget it.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to put the bow away. Who needs
That's a
the
terrible
last
mentality, Chris.
Who needs the last 10 anyways? It's no
Just-
fun. It's no fun anyways. So Cam, what's the biggest mistake you made in archery that actually made you better?
Originally, I think it was I've never been able to like think about anything while I'm at full draw. So like you've probably heard people say, oh, you gotta have like a phrase that you say for like each part of your shot. I've never been able to do that. And like my whole life I was told, oh, you're never gonna get anywhere unless you do that. You'll never be good unless you do that. But it's kind of worked out, I guess.
I would say so. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah.
I would say so.
It is nice because you don't get in your head nearly as much if you're not thinking about anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's like archery. So when you think about other sports, like let's take hockey, for example. Did you ever play hockey when you were a kid? Baseball?
I didn't know. I played a lot of baseball.
Okay, so baseball, when you're up to bat, your coach doesn't tell you, okay, think about your process. You already know your process. It's going to be there, right? You just practice that process. But in archery, it's always, it's like I've had coaches tell me to write out the process, then talk the process through your head, that sort of thing. So I wonder where that comes from.
I think different sports are different too because you have cues to start your process. Like for when you're batting, the pitcher drawing back his arm to throw is like when you start your batting process. You shift your weight back and you start loading your shoulders kind of thing. Where archery, like there's not really, unless you know to do it, there's not something to start your shot process. So that's something that I see a lot too that people don't do is like they don't have something to start their actual shot process. Like for you guys, what do you do when you're to start your shot process?
So for me, I set my front hand, and then I set make sure I get it in the same spot every time, and I talk myself through that. Then I talk myself through the draw, anchor, shoulder, squeeze, and then miss.
No, but that's good. That's better than a lot of people. Like you actually know what's going on.
Yeah, the problem tends to be and so like we've had a few talented archers on here, like, and the thing is focus. For me, I have a hard time focusing. So sometimes it'll be like, okay, set my hands. Usually that works out fine. Draw, anchor, and then it's like, oh, the shoulder's creeping up, and now what do I do? And then I start thinking about, I gotta take the kids to soccer when I get home, or I gotta go do this when I get home, and then all of that, forget it, right? So I think for me, like focus. So if you have nothing going on in your head and all you're focused on is the target and your process is, you've got that's quite impressive. So at least to me, anyways.
Yeah. See now I'm thinking about what I do. So I get my bow up. I'm learning to relax my front hand. I'm doing it, but I'm learning to relax my front hand, and then I draw my bow back, and then I just let the arrow go. Well, I get on target first, and then I let the arrow go. Okay, I don't just shoot it. But
see, I forgot aiming. There you go. So that's why I miss all the time.
No, it's
like I had a coach get me to write mine out and like step by step by step, and it was man, I must have had like 40 steps. But when I do it, I don't have 40 steps. So there's maybe five main steps. But I try to use the cues. So when I get to once I'm anchored, then I just aim. My problem is I'm aiming and I'm trying to get the release to go off at the same time. So my pin will get on there, and then it's like it'll just move just for a second, and I'm like, oh, and then it's
gotta trust the float there, Chris.
Yeah, no, I don't trust the float. I can't trust a float. It's stupid.
Yeah, it took me a while to get there.
Yeah,
trust the float.
Trusting your bows
really helps. Oh yeah, trusting the bow too.
Oh, I trust my bow now.
No, my shot process is pretty simple. Like I don't know, like I knock my arrow, get my grip. Like I'm resting with my cam on my thigh every time. Get my grip right, have my release, hook it, I draw, I'm at anchor, and I'm actually above the target, and I come down on the target, and I'm breathing, I'm exhaling as I'm coming down, and then I stop where I want it to go, and then I just start pulling, and then I just trust my float. And if I get it, awesome. If I didn't, then I probably punched it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah, supposed to.
People told me don't come down on it, don't come up on it, don't do a drive-by, but I don't do a drive-by. Like, I come down on it, then I stop.
Yeah.
That's just how I find my target. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, I think Bruce Savage said it best to me. He said that you'll talk to 80 different archery coaches and you'll get 80 different answers about any given situations. I've heard come down, come from the side. Like Chris Priester would tell me, because I used to do the same. I would come down, but he they call it target panic, target anxiety, whatever. Someone told me there's no such thing, so I don't know. Tim Gillingham doesn't think there's any such thing. He's way smarter at archery than I am. So, but I would get really nervous as soon as I get that, and then I like to see when my pin covers the center, I want to see it. So I'm kind of moving my bow at the last second. So he told me to come in from the side, and for some reason that helped for a while, but now it's just the same thing anyway. So it's just getting out of your head, and yeah, it's tough. I got a big head, so it's really hard to get out of there. So
What are you looking at while you're at full draw?
full draw, I try to focus on the center of the target the whole time. So even if it's a 3D, I will pick a spot. So one of the things I practice when I have time to, is I don't go into 3D range to practice 3D until I'm feeling comfortable or feel like I want to get a score, right? So if I want to get a score, that's when I'll go out and I'll shoot a 3D round. So what I'll do is at our range, we've got anywhere from 70 meters to 20 meters, right? And I'll put little pieces of paper on the butts that you can barely see, like especially when you get out to 50 yards, you can barely see that piece of paper, and I will focus on that and shoot at those and try to get as close as I can. And so what I do when I'm shooting at a 3D target, that little piece of paper is now ingrained in my memory, and I put that little piece of paper on the target where I think I've got my binoculars, I've indexed it, I think, okay, it's here. So I put that little piece of paper in my mind on that part of the target, and I shoot for that. And maybe if I was a better archer, it would work. I don't know. I got that. Somebody gave me that way to practice. I think it was Dave McQuaker down here in Ontario. He told me that's how he practiced, and it helped me. It helped me last year. So starting to shoot a little bit better. But yeah, so I do focus on the smallest part of the target that I can find. What about you, Cam? What are you focusing on there?
Always the target, and it's kind of something you got to work on and find. But I can't shoot a green pin. Because as soon as I'm looking at the target, I'm going through my shot, and then the pin starts moving, and my eye gets drawn to that instead of the target. So I shoot a black dot, and I shoot it small, it's smaller than the X, and I found that my eye doesn't get drawn to that, and I can just keep staring at the middle, which that's an important thing to find too. For 3D, I shoot a white pin because my eye doesn't get drawn to it at all.
When you're coming down on the target, so what I'll do is I use before because I pull away from my face, and as I'm coming to anchor, I use the scope just before I'm using the scope and staying on target with having the target inside the scope, and then I'll bring the bow to my face so that I'm almost on the center when the bow gets drawn, and I pull back. I think I learned that from a thing a week I watched with George Riles. So, and I've done it ever since, and that actually helped me. And then coming in then I sort of wasn't having to come in from the side, right? I would actually take the scope and come in from the side before it got to my eye, and then before the verifier hits it, so that once it clears up, it's like, oh, there's a target right there. I'm almost on top of it, so I just got a little adjustment, and then then punch it. So.
Yeah. For me at least, whatever you're looking at will be what your pin settles on.
Yeah.
I don't know which way I come on to target. It's just the pin's there once I draw back. So.
And that's where it gets difficult with 3D, right? Because sometimes a black bear, where the hell do you put your pin, right?
Yeah, that's a prayer. That's a prayer for me. Hopefully there's an arrow in there, a darker spot that I can aim off of.
Or you got to really know that target. So
What I do
It's
is I'll
nice.
look through my binos, find where I want to aim, put the binos down, and sort of just picture what I just saw at the spot I want to, and I won't look away, and I'll come at full draw. Like, I'll draw my bow full process, and I won't look away from that spot at all until my pin comes down on it.
Yeah, that's what I do too, or try to do. And a lot of times too, I can see rings, so that also helps.
What lens and verifier combo are you using?
I'm shooting a 6x X-shot lens, and then I have a Hamsky B clarifier, I believe. I'm kind of in between an A+ and a B. So
Yeah, I've got an A and a 5. I think I gotta move up to an A+ or a B. But I got old eyes, so I can see decent far, but I cannot see anything. I'm telling you, it's like when I go to a restaurant. Every time I go to a restaurant, I'm holding the menu out here like this. My wife's like, "Oh, you didn't bring your glasses, right?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." So she's got to read the menu for me. So, but yeah, you guys won't have to worry. At least Cam
Old
and
man.
Misha won't have to worry about that till they're for another probably
Easy-
15 years.
Easy trick: pull out your phone and just zoom in a little
use the
bit. And,
camera.
yeah, and just zoom in a little bit.
There you go. I'll use that trick next time, Justin. Just as in there.
That's
So,
such an old
so-
person thing.
I was about to say,
Hey man, you either get old or you get dead. So I've made my choice.
How big's the text on your phone?
It's not big actually, but I gotta hold it way out here.
Just adjust the text, make it as big as possible. That's what my dad does.
So like the characters are like this big.
I,
Yeah,
yeah,
like two words
It's like the
on
word
the
"the"
screen.
takes up half the phone. Yeah.
I used to work with a guy, and his laptop. He refused to wear. He was about my age. He refused to wear his reading glasses, and the text on his computer screen was about that big. And I'm like, for the love of God, how the hell do you see? How the hell do you read anything? Any word more than 4 letters? You know what I mean? So it's coming, guys. When you get this age, it's coming. You'll be doing the same thing. Mark my words. Mark my words.
Thank you.
So
Happy to know that.
yeah, I
So
look forward to my future.
there you go. Well, it'll be even worse for you, Cameron, as an electrician. You got to focus on all those wires all the times. That's hard on the eyes, buddy.
Oh, he's an electrician. God damn it. I was just starting to like the kid.
The kid. Listen.
I'm kidding. Don't ask Justin if he's part of the union. He'll ramble for 20 minutes.
We already talked about.
We already
the
had a
union just
conversation. Don't worry.
before we got on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I missed it.
Yeah. Cameron's non-union, just to be clear. So
Attaboy.
Justin encouraged him to join.
Don't do it.
No,
No, I'm not gonna.
that's not what I said.
But you're still working on your apprenticeship, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I just finished my second year schooling for it.
Nice.
I got a couple more hours to make up to be a third year, but
All right.
I think it's like 100 something. So
Good
So
for you.
what?
That's awesome.
3 weeks.
yeah, 3 weeks a month, somewhere in there.
Yeah, your dad's an electrician, eh, Justin?
Yeah. He's been with IBW for like 15 years. So
Another union man, eh?
yeah,
That's what you're
my whole family's union.
saying? Yeah. Mine too, but I'm not. So I broke the cycle.
Yeah, but you're an office guy, so
I could still be in the union. There's a lot of office guys that I work with that are in unions. I'm just not.
what union?
Pardon?
What union?
CUPE.
Oh, that's
This is an archery and hunting podcast. It is not.
Yeah.
It's not a union podcast. Jesus.
It is now. Switch it back to archery. Cam. Why do you still love this crazy sport?
Because I'm not perfect yet, probably. I can't shoot 60x every time, so there's somewhere to improve on, right? That's what keeps me coming back.
You're gonna love it for a long time because I don't know anyone who's
answer.
perfect out there. Yeah.
Are you planning on going to Vegas or Lancaster anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm doing Vegas this year. It's like in
Nice.
2
Right
weeks
on.
or something.
Nice, man.
I'll be watching.
How's the competition for that in your class?
I'm just gonna shoot flights, so there's only like 3,000 people or something to shoot against.
Only 3,000. Oh,
Only.
good.
Yeah.
Have you shot Lancaster?
No, I haven't. No, I want to. I'll probably be a
It's-
next year thing.
Yeah, it was an experience. You're like shoulder to shoulder with, and they don't. It's not like they group you with guys that are as good or as bad as you are. I shot with God, what was his name? Is it Tony Price? Guy who finished second last week in IFAA. or NFA. So it's quite the experience. Like you're shooting beside, and Valerie actually, my wife is on film with the guy who actually won Lancaster in 2024, and so she's actually, because they did a little snippet of
Jacob
a video
Souzars?
on him. Yeah, she's actually, it's actually her. She's in the background with her friend, and they were actually shooting with Jacob Souzars. It's kind of cool, and like these guys are so approachable, right? You're able to talk to Levi Morgan. Mind you, he's not a Lancaster shooter at all, but he was there at the Matthews desk. Paige Pierce was there. You could talk to her. Like you could walk up to any one of them and just strike up a conversation. I was talking, I can't remember who it was, what pro I was talking to, but because I had bought the Gen 1 Matthews, I was wondering if the new the new shifting system would be backwards compatible, but apparently not. So, but he's like, I'm not an engineer, so I don't know. So I was like, okay, fair enough. So what keeps you motivated to keep shooting?
Me shooting bad. If I don't shoot to my expectations, like if I don't shoot to my expectations, I gotta keep shooting till I get there, or I gotta fix it, right? Like it's kind of a never ending cycle, because your expectations get higher and higher, and then you keep on having to meet them, and you need to shoot more to meet them. So
Fair, yeah. And like what kind of expectations you put on yourself for let's say nationals last year? What kind of expectations do you have going into that?
expectations or goals, because those are very different things.
How about expectations and goals?
My expectation was to win. You can't go into any event and be like, oh yeah, I want to get fit. Like you're not going to shoot your best if you do that. At least for me, I have to be like, have confidence in my shots and stuff. My goals are always more like shooting based. So my goal in going into it was to break every shot clean, not to punch anything, let's say.
Okay. So you
That
set
way, like you're
setting process goals, but what kind of objectives do you sort of set for yourself?
that's hard too, because like, what happens if it's windy? What happens if it's rainy?
Mm-hmm.
Meet those expectations. Like for FIDA, outdoor FIDA, my goal is always like a 7-10 for competition. And then most of the time I can keep it around there. And then if it's windy or something, windy, rainy, then like a 705, 700 is, depending on the conditions. And usually I'm pretty close to that.
And are those expectations based on like a reality that you've kind of done in practice? Or so like when I practice, like say I'm practicing for a 3D event, or I don't shoot 720. I burn too easy, but just standing in a field. These guys don't have no idea what we're talking about. They don't shoot outdoor targets. But where was I going with that? Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll keep score, and then I figure what the average is, and that would kind of be, I'll take that into my next tournament, right? And I usually think, okay, I'm going to probably take 5 off the top, and that'll probably be where I'm going to score, right? Is that sort of what you do when in practice? Maybe you're shooting a 715, or do you just say, I'm going to shoot 710 because goddamn, I'm just that good.
It depends on how I'm feeling too. Like if I'm having, like, it goes in cycles. Like you'll shoot really good for a couple weeks maybe, and then bad habits creep in, and then you might shoot like 715 when you're really good, and then 710 when you're kind of in the middle, and then 700 when you're not shooting good.
Creepers.
So it depends on like what you're shooting, like, is for me too. But like practice, I want to be like 715 ish. That's kind of the goal.
So just for these guys, perfect is 720, right? So,
Yeah, 715 is good.
So his worst, he's saying, is 710.
Yeah, it's 10 off. That's almost
So that's
perfect.
And
It's not perfect, but it's almost.
Sorry, it's 6 arrows, 12 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 10's like basically a baseball size at 50 meters.
At 50 meters.
Oh, that's not too hard.
55. You should try it then. Come on and shoot one.
I'll shoot it. Yeah.
Yeah. You should try them. They're very good for teaching you what you're doing wrong. And like, as long as you have that drive to like fix what you're doing wrong, it's a very good way to get to shoot really good quickly. or at least in my opinion, it is.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of the boat we're all in. The three of us, we're trying to figure out what's going on wrong and trying to fix those little mistakes. Just kind of come around to that as well. For a long time, it was just satisfied with the way he was shooting, and then I guess I don't know what drove you to get better, Justin,
I don't know.
to start thinking about your shot. Was it because Josh Webb looked at you and said,
I don't
"It's a
know.
no good"?
He wasn't the first one to say it. You said it too, but no. It I don't know. I don't know what caused me to change my shot. I guess it's because I went and shot the SCC, and I was like, oh, like I know I can do better. And then, so now I kind of taking it a little more seriously. Still having fun though, but
Right on.
that's
Yeah.
that's it, right? Because I'm middle of the pack all around for everything. So even in Target, which I do hate Target, and then
8. Wow, that's a strong word.
yeah, I'm not okay. Sorry, I am not a fan of Target. Just shooting papers. It's boring.
So
And
I'll say one thing. The only thing I don't like about Target, and it's only because I compare it to 3D, is the camaraderie. So because when you're on the line in Target, you're shooting more because you're not waiting for this next person to take a shot. You're on the line, you're shooting. Unless there's 2 or 3 flights ahead of you or whatever, then you might have to wait. Or sorry, so there's one flight ahead of you as you're waiting for that guy to shoot, and then you're going to shoot. But there's not a lot of chatting going on, right? Whereas 3D, you're always just chatting away and talking about this and that, and I think that's the one thing that I don't like about Target. However, I do think, anyways, for me, that I think Target's important just because it does show you, it doesn't lie. To me, 3D lies. It's like,
Yeah,
maybe I
100%.
wasn't looking at the right spot. That's because your ego is going to tell you, and there's no way I was wrong. I was definitely shooting the right spot. I was probably shooting at the wrong spot. To a point where there's been guys, and these are some of the stories I've heard, that they shoot a spot, they miss, and the guy wants to give himself a 10 because he's like, well, that's where the artery should be. It's like, oh, dude, that's not how the targets work. Okay, the target has a specific spot that you got to shoot at. Where the artery is doesn't matter. So, but anyways, it's like that's how crazy it gets, right? So, but to my point, and we've had Chris Priester on, he'll say the same thing. It 3D lies. It can lie to you a lot, and sometimes not make you think you're a better shooter than you are, but maybe give you either a false hope or frustrate you more because you're like, I'm never hitting anything, and maybe it's just because you
hides
can't
your
see
weakness.
it. Yeah, it can do that. Yeah, for sure.
100% Target. Target shows you exactly what you're doing wrong, and once you figure out how to fix those things, that's like the breakthrough moment, and when you start actually improving.
Yeah, because like to your point, Cam, earlier, if you're hitting low left, and all of a sudden you're noticing, oh yeah, just before I'm shooting, I'm kind of doing this, right? That's why I'm hitting low left. But if you do that in 3D, you don't know. You might hit the 11 and you've done this, and it's just because you're aiming high or low right? So yeah.
I mean, shit. When we were shooting at, where did we go, Chris? When I met you and Val,
Archers of
Caledon.
Yeah, when we went there, that was the first time I shot paper since the Kobe Classic, and that was the first time I ever shot paper. I shot I shot the Lancaster round. I shot at 297, and then a World Archery target, I shot at 275. I still have the tickets, but I've never shot paper. I don't shoot paper,
and that's pretty average with hunting bow for someone who's never shot paper, right? Because you don't practice it very often.
Say it's a different game. It's not the same.
Different game, but that game helps your other games. Target helps. Like I think field to me is the best of both worlds. So, and this young gentleman can probably explain field better than I can. So, and probably the benefits of it. So,
yeah, I think Target's better because it doesn't change anything. It's the exact same. So it's just up to you to make a good shot. Where field, like every time you switch distance, your peep changes height. So your anchor has to change.
Sure, yeah.
Shoulder angle slightly different because you're shooting maybe uphill by a couple degrees. Like Target, like I won't practice 3D. I won't practice field at all. I might practice shooting angles, but I'm not like going out and shooting 3D animals for the week leading up to a 3D event. I'll just shoot like a Vegas target at a couple of distances to make sure I can get those anchors are consistent at those distances, and then like that's what makes your form consistent, is having consistency in your practice. So going and changing things, like that's not gonna be conductive to you shooting super great. It's like changing things in your bow. You don't want to change something every day. You're not changing your D loop length every day and expecting to shoot super great.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a very fair point. Yeah.
Consistency.
Consistency is definitely the key.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point about feel too, the whole peep, and then you're adjusting your you're adjusting your anchor point as well because of the distances, right? You got the depending on obviously which whether you're doing FIFA or World Archery or what have you, but I think what's FIFA is a maximum of 80 yards or 70 meters, I can't remember. But so you're having to anchor a little bit lower to get that peep in the right spot. And do you have a setup for field compared to 3D compared to target, or is it all the same setup and you're just adjusting your anchor?
I got a 3D bow that it just shoots 27s. Like I don't shoot anything else out of it.
Okay.
And then I got a bow with skinnies on it, and that's what I'll shoot for field. And you basically just level the sight and throw a sight tape on it. Like you're not changing a ton. But, they're completely different bows. Like they shoot completely differently. They have different peep heights. They have different weight balances. Like it just depends on what the bow wants, right?
Right.
Do you bow hunt, Cam?
I don't know. I should, but I don't.
Are you a big hunter at all or no?
No, mostly just fishing. Kind of falls when fishing gets good in Alberta, or at least for me. So I'd rather spend that time fishing.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, from what I hear, you catch a lot of big fish. So if I was that good, I'd
try
be
to.
doing that too.
Oh man, you just gotta look at his Facebook. You'll see a ton of big fish. Lots of big walleye. I think I saw a couple of sturgeon in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, some
I
really
caught a
big
lot of good
walleye.
pike this year.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I love a good pike. Not a lot of people like eating them, but I love eating pike.
They're very underrated.
Yeah, delicious. If you know how to fillet them properly, it's one of the best fish to eat, in my humble opinion. That's just walleye would be my favorite. Then pike and perch, and then the rest.
You
of
eat
them.
bass, don't you?
No, not too often.
Okay. If
Bass
I'm
is
camping,
too-
I'll eat bass.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's not my favorite.
I don't mind
What,
bass.
Justin?
Tastes good. I don't mind bass. It tastes good. I like
Yeah.
everything though. Why I'm fat.
Yours.
I'm just saying. I like all fish.
Yeah.
No, if I'm camping and I'm fishing, I'm catching and eating probably 90% of the fish I get. Why not? Otherwise, I catch mollies.
I love shore lunch, so I'm not gonna lie. I keep a lot of the fish that I catch as well, but I'm not catching 12-pound walleye either. So, or 60-inch sturgeon. I don't even know if any of the rivers or lakes around here. Well, Nipissing will still have sturgeon in it apparently. So, but I've never seen one. But I like a good mess of catfish, so I'm a pretty easygoing guy when it comes to fish. As long as I get the bloodline out, they're actually quite delicious.
I wish we had catfish here. I fished them a couple times in Manitoba, and they're so fun.
Yeah.
No, we don't got catfish. We don't got bass. It's kind of pike, walleye, perch. Kind of. They get fished out pretty quick, and then trout and sturgeon.
Well,
When you're,
I mean, those are some good eating fish, so
yeah.
rather have that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's trout's I like trout for sure, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where to fish around here. Like I'm not from Southern Ontario. I'm originally from Northern Ontario up in Sudbury, so that's where I did a lot of my fishing and still do most of my hunting. So around here, like especially Southwestern Ontario, if you don't know a farmer, the hunting is very sparse. You've got to get on a piece of public land that's maybe 40 acres, and there's probably 80 guys on it. So I'd rather just go up north where there's thousands and thousands of acres and probably the same amount of guys. So yeah, that's one of the downfalls of living down here. Sometimes I wish I could, the work was better up north. I'd probably be still there. So like the Alberta archery scene, Like, do you guys have a lot of clubs, indoor clubs, 3D clubs, that sort of thing out there?
We got. There's probably more. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what your guys's looks like. We got, I think, 2 or 3 in Edmonton, 3 if you count a shop, and then there's 2 in Calgary. There's one in Red Deer. Like, kind of just every town has one or 2 of them, but they're spread out. Like, our populations are so spread out here that it ends up being
So is
pretty spread
there,
out. Like, I'm driving like,
is there, is,
sorry,
go ahead. Sorry. You're just about to answer my question, I think.
like, yeah, like I'm driving like 6 hours to go to some of the 3D shoots, and I'm staying in
Wow.
Alberta.
Wow.
That is a long
Crazy.
drive.
Dude, you got to move to
I've
Southern
done worse.
Ontario.
It's not bad.
Well, I mean, down here we have the ones in Ottawa, right? Like that's 6 hours for most of us.
Yeah, but you can go to a local shoot almost. You could probably go to a local shoot around here every weekend, and you won't have to drive more than 40 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, like the big
For
ones, right?
3D.
Like we have our events and Aroa City, and then the Southern Classic in Windsor. But other than that, you're going Rogues Hollow, Porcupine. It's all in Ottawa, right? And then they're doing the Triple Crown thing up there, and which is awesome. And I'm gonna try and make it out for whichever ones I can get out for, but it's a long drive, man.
Have you heard of this, Cameron? You're in
I haven't. No.
out in Eastern Ontario. They're having a Triple Crown, an ASA Triple Crown. It's 2 gentlemen that they've always run tournaments. Rogues Hollow, which is Peter Ray, Porcupine Hollow, which is Carl Jones, and then Chris Perkins is actually going to be putting on an event as well. So they've teamed up. You keep the best 2 scores out of your 3, and they're gonna. I think there's gonna be like a shooter of the year and that sort of thing happening here. A belt buckle, that sort of. It's kind of neat. Like this stuff's starting to kind of like. They used to do a thing here just before COVID called ONT 3D, which did this a very similar thing where it was an ASA style shoot, belt buckles, prizes. Like it's quite. If you're ever in Ontario, if you ever get the chance, like you got to come out to these events. It's a blast. It's some good shooting too. Like all ASA deltas. So if you're wanting to practice for an ASA in the States, this is definitely the place to come. And they've got they got $20,000 worth of prizes, which I don't know how it is in Alberta. I know here it's like kind of almost unheard of. Like the event we did last year, I think we had 12,000. We did a Triple Crown here, but it was kind of a mixed IBO sort of thing, and we had about 12,000. So there was 2 podcast folks. The 2 gentlemen from Full Draw, Gary and CJ, and also from Caribou Media, which is Josh McKenzie. They put on a Full Draw, like they call the Full Draw Caribou Cup, and they had a lot of like really awesome prizes, like tree stands, bows, all kinds of stuff from AE, all kinds of different vendors sponsored it. So it was pretty neat. It was just it's so I don't know. I think archery, at least around here, is on an upturn. What about the what do you think of with the Alberta scene? Is that are you guys experiencing sort of the same uptick in archers and comps?
We have like an ASA tour here, like kind of the same thing you guys got. It used to be 5, but I think we're doing 3 this year, and they got cash prizes. I didn't know what the total was, but like you win, like if you win everything, it's like $1,000, $2,000,
All right.
depending on the year. So
That's awesome.
But other than that, there's no, unless we have like Canada Cup or Nationals come here, we don't have any big target shoots or target shoots that actually pay out. We have Ironman in the winter. That one's pretty good.
Do you have a local club in your area?
Yeah, I live like 10 minutes away from 2 clubs.
Okay.
An indoor club and then an indoor-outdoor club. It's called Sherwood Park Archery Club. They got like, I think it's like 40 acres or something. So they got like 4 3D loops and indoor range and an outdoor like feeder range. So they're pretty good.
Here's a thought or a suggestion. If you ever wanted to set up a money shoot, so this is how we do it. I run a club here in Guelph, Rural City Bowman. What we do is for people who want to shoot, just want to come out and have fun and shoot, We'll make it competitive for you. No money. They just have to pay their $25 or whatever, right? And then $10 for lunch. But what we'll do for money is we'll charge an extra $30 and we put it into the pot and then we divide it. And it's quite popular. It's probably how you guys are doing your ASA Triple Crown, but you could do it for Target. You could do it for anything if you wanted to set it up at your club. I'll tell you, like, it really gets people interested in shooting. If they got something to shoot for. So it's at Porcupine, Rogues, and the Perkins one, they'll have a money class, so you'll pay extra to be in that class, and they will have a cash prize. Plus, they have $20,000 in prizes, draws. I think they're gonna, the top shooter will probably win a prize. So it's quite something. Like one of the, I think Monson's, which is a big archery dealer out in Quebec, is supporting it. Easton, Trude, a bunch of the big names are sponsoring the event. So, anyways, just food for thought. So,
Yeah.
if you ever wanted,
how many people do you got going?
So those ones, like, at our club, so I can only speak for our club. Like Porcupine Hollow last year, I think they had more than 200 shooters at Porcupine Hollow. And this is before they did the Triple Crown. Like Carl's always had a good turnout. Peter Ray, same thing at Rogues. He's got 180 to 200 shooters. Like our club, I can only accommodate 120 shooters, and we max out almost all of our events.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, man, if you love archery, man, this is the place to be, because there's so many events.
Yeah, I think our max is like the ASAs was like 120.
That's
and then yeah, I don't think we have the same shooter base that actually want to go and like shoots though.
Yeah.
I think that's a difference here too, is most people just hunt and then that's kind of it for them. We have the Oilman shoot. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's a charity shoot. They used to be up in like, I think it was like 500 plus people. And then it's just, times change, I guess. People stopped shooting it. And now we're down to like 400, 450 or something. That's kind of our biggest shoot, but there's no cash involved. It's just charity, which is good. It's just a different kind of shoot, I guess.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, so anytime you want to come down here and shoot one of our tournaments, let me know.
Well, we have nationals at AIM.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, nationals is at in Muskoka this year, just about 3 hours north of us.
Yeah,
about there. Yeah,
I don't know if you're willing to take a plane ride down there, but
yeah, it depends on how Canada Cup goes for me. I think, like, if I shoot well for Canada Cup, then I don't need the scores to go there. Like I wouldn't need to go to nationals then. But if I shoot bad there, like not to my expectations, then I'll probably end up shooting nationals. It depends.
Well, you'll see. You'll see at least two of us there. Like, I think I'm going. I think Justin's going, but I'm not sure. Are you going, Justin, to nationals?
Probably not.
Misha, are you going?
Yeah.
There you go. So 2 of us. We'll be there.
Yeah. If it wasn't so far, I'd for sure go. But it's hard to justify the plane ticket and renting a car and a hotel for a week and stuff. Like, we're spending 2 days driving there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's fair. It is a big expense.
Yeah. So here's another thing, like our club does. We sponsor a shooter. So we have a fund. I won't say how much it is, but we have a fund, and what we do is we're mainly a 3D club. We don't have any indoors, so it's mainly 3D. This year we've got some target shooters though. Stephanie Barrett she coaches a lot of her kids out of our club. So, what the hell was that noise?
It's Justin.
Sorry. I'll edit that out. So anyways, what we did last year was we sent a gentleman to Lac La Biche, Luis Guillen. So what we did is we had a tournament, and the top winners were put into a draw, and Luis won the draw, and we sent him, and we paid for his we basically paid for his trip to nationals. So just something to think about. Again, it's like, and the only reason I'm saying it is it's not to criticize any other clubs or whatever. It's just, I think it's something people don't think about doing. And if we're gonna grow the sport, right? Like, it's like you're spending out of pocket to go to all these events or whatever. Even if even if it's just to drive 6 hours away, it's still an expense, right? Like if we want to grow the sport, we want to make it competitive, and I would love to be able to shoot against guys who live in BC, Alberta, whatever, right? So, and even out east, they've got some great shooters there. Quebec's got some awesome shooters. So to be able to have clubs do these kind of things would really, I think, just grow the pod, right? Grow the community.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, just again, more food for thought. Just throwing some ideas out there. So this is. I like to do that in the show, is just throw out ideas, because sometimes they stick and they become things. So and anything to grow the community, and anything I can do to help grow the community, I'm willing to do as well. So and that's kind of why I did this show, is to sort of grow the community. But so let me ask you one final question, Cam. Let's say
let's hear.
Let's say something catastrophic happens and archery goes away tomorrow. What is Cam doing? It's not archery.
Fishing.
I think you made that very clear, Chris.
Just fishing?
Probably fishing. Work.
What are you going to fill all the archery time in with?
Probably fishing. The river's like 20 minutes from my house, so it's not a big deal for me to just rip out for an afternoon.
That's awesome.
Fish for a couple hours.
Sure. Nothing wrong with that.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, on that note, it was nice meeting you, Cam. And,
thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show,
welcome.
man. It's
awesome.
awesome.
We appreciate it. Yeah, really appreciate it. And that was Letdown, guys.
Anytime.
I'm Justin Harrison. You can find me on Instagram at Justy_785, or on Facebook. Just look up Justin Harrison.
I'm Misha Corso. You can find me on Instagram at Misha Corso. And if you're looking for some great bow hunting and sport shooting merch, look up Stray Sons Archery on Instagram. The link to our Shopify is in our bio.
I'm Chris LaFleur. If you want to find us, the show is Letdown Podcast on Spotify and YouTube. And on Instagram and Facebook, you can find us at the Letdown Podcast. Catch you next time. This was The Letdown. Thank you for listening. This was The Letdown.